In this video, I will show you how to dual boot the latest version of NixOS with Windows 11. The NixOS is the solid Linux distribution that comes with the Nix package manager. Now, this guide is one of the safest and easiest ways to set up a dual boot on any PC or laptop without any data loss. Also, at the end of this video, I will show how to remove NixOS safely from the dual boot if in case you don't require it. So do not skip the video or any step and make sure to watch the video until the end to avoid any confusion. For the demonstration, I will be using my HP Pavilion gaming laptop. The process will be similar for any PC or laptop. Now, as you can see, I'm running the latest version of Windows 11 Home. Also, if you notice, my PC has booted with UEFI boot mode. The only requirements of this video, you need Windows 11 or Windows 10 running on your PC or laptop. Next, you need an 8 gigs or higher USB drive to create a bootable disk with NixOS. You also need to reserve a free space of 40 GB or higher from your existing drive. That being said, it's time to create a free space for NixOS. To do so, open the command prompt and type diskmgmt.msc to open a disk manager which shows all of the connected drives along with their partitions. In my case, you can see that one drive is connected. If you notice, drive 0 has 3 partitions. The first one is the EFI partition where the Windows bootloader is present. The second one is the main Windows, and the last one is the recovery partition. I'm going to choose the C drive to shrink the free space for NixOS. In any case, it might be D, E, or F, whatever. Just choose the partition and right click on it. Now choose shrink volume and allocate a minimum of 40 GB or more for NixOS. You can type the value in megabytes. In my case, I'm going to allocate 150,000 megabytes. Then click on shrink. This will create an unallocated free space. That's it. Now we have done creating a free space for NixOS. Now open your favorite browser and go to the official website of NixOS. Now scroll down and under the graphical ISO, choose Intel or AMD version. For now, I'm going to download Plasma Desktop 64-bit Intel or AMD. You can also download a minimal ISO, which does not contain the graphical user interface. Now once the download is complete, use Balena Etcher or Rufus to burn the downloaded ISO image to the USB drive. In my case, I'm going to use the Ventoy drive. I will insert it and copy the ISO to the Ventoy drive. Now once you're done making a bootable USB with Rufus or Balena Etcher or pasting the ISO to the Ventoy drive, reboot your computer. While it's rebooting, you need to enter into BIOS settings. Use the keyboard shortcut based on your motherboard. They mostly could be F2, F9 or escape key. The first thing to do after entering into BIOS is to enable USB boot. Then change the boot order by setting the USB drive as primary. You go ahead and disable secure boot, which is very important, otherwise NixOS won't boot. If you have any option like Microsoft's third-party UEFI, just go ahead and enable it. It's also better to clear any keys or certificates after disabling the secure boot. Now once it is done, save the changes. Now our system will boot into NixOS from the USB drive. If in case it fails to boot, use the boot menu to load NixOS install media. Now you will see a few options. If you have the latest NVIDIA graphic card or iGPU, choose the first option. If the first option is not working for you, or if the installer falls back to this menu, use the second option. I'm going to choose the first option and boot into the NixOS live setup. Go ahead and connect to the internet using the Ethernet cable or Wi-Fi. Now, as you can see, the installer appears. Now, go ahead, choose the system language, region, and set the keyboard layout. I'm going to choose English United States. Then create a user account. The install will then present this screen. You can choose the desktop of your choice. Then click on Next. Now you can tick this option to install unfree software using the Nix Package Manager. Under the partition section, make sure the proper drive is selected and click on Replace a partition. Now you can see the free space is represented with a gray color tag. Just go ahead and select the free space using the color tag, and the installer will automatically find the EFI partition of Windows 11 and installs the systemd bootloader to this location. Now click on Next and choose Install. Sit back and relax. The installation will take some time depending on the speed of the drive. Now once it's done, go ahead and restart your computer by removing the bootable media. Now using the systemd boot menu, you can boot into NixOS or Windows 11. You can interrupt the default timer by pressing the arrow keys. Then press the letter T on your keyboard and increase the boot time by pressing T continuously. You can also use the minus or plus keys. Now this will increase the time limit of the boot menu. You go ahead and choose NixOS and press enter to boot into the newly installed OS. Now as you can see, NixOS looks fantastic and working pretty well. This is how you properly dual boot NixOS and Windows 11 on the same drive. Now as a bonus part of the video, if in case you don't like NixOS and decided to uninstall it, then reboot your computer back to the Windows 11. Now open the command prompt and type this command to open the disk manager. Now next to the C drive, you can see one partition that was created while installing NixOS. Just go ahead and remove this partition by deleting it. Simply right click on it and choose to delete. Now you will see an unallocated free space that you can use and expand Windows. Now go ahead, type cmd and run it as administrator. Then type the disk part. Now type list disk. This will show all of the connected drives to the PC. Now in my case, I have only one drive connected where Windows and Linux bootable files are installed. I'm going to select this drive by typing this command. Then type list partition to list out all of the partitions on this drive. Now you might see 3+ partitions. look for the system partition or EFI partition. Now mostly it could be the first partition. Now select this partition by typing this command. Once it's selected, type assign letter is equals to X to mount this partition temporarily. Now type exit to exit the disk part prompt. Now type X colon. Now this will change the directory. Here type dir to list the contents of that partition. Now you can see two folders, EFI and loader. Just go ahead and delete the loader directory by running this command. Once it's done, now change the directory into EFI by typing this command. Now if I type dir, this will list the contents of the EFI folder. Here you can see NixOS and Windows 11 boot files. Go ahead and delete these three folders by running this command. Now be careful, you should not touch the Microsoft or boot folders. That's it. Now we have successfully removed NixOS from the Duo boot. Now restart your computer. It should boot your system directly into Windows 11. Now this is how you properly set up a Duo boot on your Windows computer. And that's pretty much it. What do you guys think about it? If you have any questions, do post them in the comment section down below and I will try to help you. Thanks for watching my video. This has been KSK Ryle. I will see you in the next one.